Your lesson essential question today is, what are the parts of a story's structure? So today we're going to be looking at story structure. We're going to be looking at a lot of the things we looked at last week. So the parts of a story's structure are the characters, the setting or where the story takes place, and the plot, which includes the problem and the solution to the problem. So we know that every story has characters, setting, and a plot. The characters respond to major events to create the plot of a story. When we think of those major events, we want to think of the problem, and we want to think of how the characters are responding to the problem and what other problems might come up along the way. So don't forget, we have our characters, we have our setting, and then we normally have a problem, responses to a problem, and a solution. So I see that this little boy looks very hungry. That sounds like a problem. This probably happened at the beginning of the story. It looks like he responded to his problem by cooking. This creates the plot, so this happens throughout the middle of the story. Now at the end, he's eating. His problem is solved. So how do we find these things in a story? Well, first, we need to make sure we identify those characters, so who the story is about. And then where is the story taking place? Knowing the setting helps us visualize the story better. Then we want to identify the problem the characters are facing. And like I said, that usually happens at the beginning of a story. Next, we identify how the characters act and react throughout the story. That's normally the middle. At this point, we're going to start looking over here. We're going to start looking for the thoughts, the words, and the actions of the characters, because that's how they're responding, through their thoughts, their words, and their actions. We also want to make sure we're taking a look at the illustrations, because that shows the characters' thoughts and words and their feelings and their actions. So as we go through the story, as we identify how the characters are reacting, we're going to eventually come to a solution. So last we'll identify the solution to the problem, and that's the end of the story. So thinking about story structure, we want to make sure we're paying attention to the beginning, the middle, and the end. You're going to be reading a story today and doing those things.